How's it going, guys? Welcome back. My name is Austin from awfulmedia.com, and today we're going to pick up where we left off a few days ago on our website for this tutorial series. And it's been a few days because I've had some things going on behind the scenes here. I've got the giveaway set up. I finished that video up. You can check it out on my channel. It's pretty interesting, and if you would like to win a free advertising spot for 30 days on awfulmedia.com, please go to awfulmedia.com/giveaway and enter to win. And I would like to point out, Awful Media isn't a huge website. I get that, but we do. I get pretty decent numbers, and free exposure is free exposure, like I said in that video. So if you'd like to do that, please check out that link. Now today we're going to work on the website that we've started a while back. And pretty much all we have left to do is set up a couple mock-up pages, like I said, like a blog, maybe a little blog post or something like that, just an article post, something of that nature, and then get it live on a web server. Excuse me. And then we are going to be able to call it quits on this one. So right off the bat, we should jump into Notepad and see what we have to do. So with our template pretty much being complete, what we can do, so I can hit Control A on this, come over here, and Control A, Control C, Control V, and then hit Control S. A lot of control letters, and then save this as like article.html. Just something. It's just going to be for a fun mock-up. And then we're going to set this up kind of like an article page with the title and then the paragraphs and a sidebar, maybe. I don't really know. We'll see. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with getting rid of the content that we don't need on this page. And we don't need that. And get rid of all that. And then we're going to come in here and say, well, what are we going to say? Article, then aside, and aside. Now both of those are HTML5 tags. So make sure you're running HTML5. Make sure you have that doc type declared so your browser understands what's going on. And then in the article, we're going to say H1 and say this is the article's post title. And then I'm going to come into that, make a span with the class of what was I going to say? Oh yeah, post meta. I went blank for a second there. Then under that, we can say div class post. And this is going to be the container that contains our post, like our paragraph, all of our images, whatever it may be. In this we can say posted by Austin on December 21st, 2012. Obviously that would be a dynamic field there for you to fill in if you're using WordPress or just, if you know PHP, stuff like that. So that would be for that. But for a static, it's going to be static for this tutorial. So we're going to have it like that. And then in here, what we can do is come to our browser, and I'm going to go lorem, and so I'm going to go to lipsum.com, and we can tell it, hey, I want you to generate me 5 paragraphs of lorem ipsum. This is just dummy content for this purpose, pretty much. It's used by pretty much everybody that does this kind of stuff. So if we paste that in there, you'll see it's not very pretty. But if we come to the browser and go over and F5 to refresh, we need to go to that page. So let's see, article.html. And this is what we have. It's beautiful, isn't it? So what we have to do is we have to format our paragraph. So this is a paragraph. And I'm going to kind of line this up here. Just roughly. Keep it all on screen. Something like that. And that is plenty text for a dummy paragraph or for a dummy article. So we're just going to say it. That's that. There we go. Let's see. What's my brand? Okay, I didn't use a heading tag for that. That makes sense. So H1's pretty huge, isn't it? Did I use that for? I did. That's why it's so big. Well, I don't know why I did that, but that's going to have to do. So we're going to say, wow, why is that line height so big? What did I do here? What did I do? That's the brand, Austin. Let's see, H1. Line height is the same. So what I'll do is I'll just come down here and say article H1. So the H1 tag within the article tag, we're going to target that tag. And then I'm going to say font size is going to be 40 pixels. And the line height is going to be 40 pixels. What am I missing here? What am I missing? What am I missing? What is it doing? Why is it's not taking up that space? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. We'll say I fixed it. Alrighty. And then I'm going to I'm going to roll with that. Come in here and say post meta. That's a class, not a tag. And say color is 4B. And that is a span tag. So what I'm going to do is tell it to float to the right and text align to the right. So it's going to shoot it way over there. Then under that tag, under our post meta, I'm going to add an HR. Horizontal rule. And then I'm going to get rid of float right there, because it's not going to be floating right. And there we go. And now I can tell you one thing I'm going to have to do. Margin 0. Just to get it on the left side there. Let's see what I need to do. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that works just fine like that. So now I'm going to target the aside for this. Have I defined an aside yet? It's been so long I can't remember. It's been like a week, it seems like. Has it been a week, really? Aside. And I'm going to say float to the right. Make the article. Why am I doing this whenever I have... There we go. So we'll just change that to grid 10. Again, it's been a while. I kind of forgot that I was using a grid system apparently. So we'll change that to grid 10, and then we'll change the aside to make up for the rest of that space, which would be grid 6. If we type in some content there, refresh, there we go. So now we can get rid of that. Let's give it a background of EF. There we go. Then I'm going to add some padding here. 10 pixels. And that's going to break it down just like that. So what we can actually do is we can come in here and we can make this, because we need the padding, and just to make it a little bit more simple, keep going on that one. Just to make it more simple on us, we could just break this down into grid 5. We will lose a column, but it will work just fine with our padding. So if I come over here and say, this is a widget, give this a div with a class of widget title, just assuming you'd want to make this into a WordPress theme, this would make sense. And that is not an anchor tag, is it? Then in their style.css, we can target that and say widget title, font size is going to be like 1.2 em, and the color, and we'll just leave that. There we go. This is a widget, and below that, in a paragraph tag, I'll say grab some of our Ipsum here. There we go. Now, let's clean this up a little bit. Yeah, okay, I was like, where's that div in? But enter there. Okay, so this is what we have. Something like this. This will be our post page if you're doing that kind of website. I don't know what you're doing, so I don't know what to tell you. But something like this, posted by Austin on December 21st, 2012. I think I would like to see that actually. Font size of like 14 pixels. Which we could actually make it where it's not static, so we could say like 0.75 ems and 0.85. That way the font is not static, and the user can it'll adjust according to the user settings, because the control that visitors have over your website now is ridiculous. If they don't like the way your website appears, they will just change it, and they can do that now. They have some crazy control over stuff. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It makes it more customizable for the user. But, you know, you have to kind of consider that whenever you're doing this. If he wants to make all his text a little bit larger than it is, well, if you have it set at 16 pixels, I mean, it just makes it more difficult. So what you could do is just use it for like a relative type of scale. So this is a post page. Let's say this is all my website contains. I mean, I'm sure we could go into a contact page. We can go into stuff like that. But say this is all my website contains. And now I want to get this website on a live server. And I did this in the last tutorial, in the last series. But we're going to do it again in this one. And we are going to, let's see. Okay, so I figured it out, and I am now logged in to my account. And now from here, I can access my cPanel. And you'll notice I still have the website set up from last time that we did this, and it is still here. They have not deleted it yet due to inactivity, and I believe they will do that simply because, I mean, they are a free host and they do have limited space that they can afford to a free account. So you have to take that into consideration. If you're not going to, I just stuttered like 10 times. If you're not going to be very active, do not expect your account to be around for long. So what we're going to do now let's go into our cPanel. And if we come down here to Files, I'll be able to click on View FTP Details. And someone asked me how to do this. They wanted to know how they could upload their files to their web server, to their website, pretty much, without using FileZilla. Now that, where's that on here? Now that is, like, I don't know why you'd want to do that. I mean, they offer two different ones right here they recommend. Smart FTP and FileZilla is one of them. And there's quite a few more FTP clients you can use for this that are free. I mean, there's free ones, there's paid ones, and they're all pretty good. They have some decent ones, and they have some really good ones, and they have some really, really good paid ones. And if you don't like the FileZilla user interface, you could try a different application and see if that does the job for you. And they also have file managers on most cPanel hosts. Most of those are available to you. You can do it that way. But I mean, this is the easiest way to do it, and it's really simple once you kind of figure out how stuff works. So I'm going to open up FileZilla. I'm going to assume you have FileZilla by now. If you do not, click on this link, take you to it so you can download it. So in FileZilla here, let me open this up. I'm going to type in the information it gives me. So what we can do is we can take our FTP host name right here, paste it within the host field, take our FTP username, and paste it in none other than the username in the client. And then our password will be the password we use to log in to the cPanel. In most cases, different hosts, different techniques, but in this case, it is exactly that. So fill in those fields and click Quick Connect, and it will take us directly to our folder, our directory here. And now we go into the public_HTML folder, and we have the files we had from last time, the index, contact, and about.html. If we look at these, the about page, just like that, and the contact page, just some information for that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to upload our files into this directory, and it will replace a few of those files. It will replace the index, and it will merge the images folder, eventually replacing those. And then we're going to replace the style.css. So let's drag those up right there, and we're going to just choose apply to current queue only for the overwrite action. Click OK. And now we can come in here and go back to our main domain name there, and we get this. That is beautiful. It's like the style.css did not work for us, and that's what it was. Okay, so now we have this website live on a web server. You can go to this domain and check it out. It is live on the server at the moment. If you go here, you can view everything, view the page source. It's exactly what I put together on video. I may even, if you would like to download this template I created here and play around with it, I will upload this either to Awful Media or to this domain right here for you to check out. Either one, it'll get done eventually. If you would like to see that, let me know. If you would not, let me know. I'd like to know. So that's pretty much it for this. I mean, there's a few things we could do. I could talk about a few things. I could guide you towards a few things, but we have the website, and that was the goal of this tutorial. And now what you have to worry about is once you have your website complete, you have to worry about optimizing for a search engine. That is a big deal in this industry. You have to have your content and your structure and everything optimized to the search engine's liking. And the big dog out there is Google. So you want to play with Google. That's the guy that you want to be friends with. And then you want to cater to Bing and Yahoo as well, because you can't count them out. They are huge players when it comes to traffic. And then you want to think about monetization. How can you make money with your website? Because it's going to cost you money to have a legitimate website with a domain and a good web host. I suggest HostGator.com. Never been disappointed. Their support is amazing. It's crazy. You have any kind of question, they are willing to help you. It does not have to be related to web hosting, I found that out. But don't spam them with crap, you know. So I would really consider thinking about monetization routes. What you could do, I mean, there's cost per click. There, pay you per click for ads if you were going to ads like that. Talking about affiliate marketing, where you can sell other people's products. You can review other people's products, sell those products. You have cost per action, where you do something and you get paid for it, like if you fill out a form. There's so many different routes you can take, and it's just kind of figuring out what works for your website. I am still playing around with mine for my website because I understand that the people that come to my website have interest in web design. And they understand what an advertisement is. And eventually you kind of have this built-in ad block in your mind where you don't even see these advertisements. Like now when I go to a website, unless they're just flashing in my face to where I have to, activate my plugin to stop those, I just kind of don't see them. Like if they're little banners on the side or something, they don't bother me because I just do not see them. And that's fine. You eventually get that way. And so you have to kind of think about that if you're doing that kind of website. You don't want all your visitors to not see your ads. So you kind of have to think about that. And you have to think about the placement to get it just right for your type of visitors, for your audience. And that's a long-term project. You don't just get that. Then you have to think about website speed optimization. And that is a big role if you have a slow website. It can really change a lot of things. I can show you a website really quickly. GT metrics. I've already went over this in a past video about website performance optimization. You can run a test on your URL. Mine's been doing good since the redesign. About 2 seconds time, and it will tell you what you can do to update it, to make it better. And you really need to listen to it because it's really smart. I mean, it understands what makes a fast website. So let's see what it says about my website right now. See, 2.27 seconds, a little bit higher than I like it to be. I like it to be no more than 2. But I have 47 requests, and that's quite a bit. And I'm not using a CDN, a content delivery network, which will that's a completely different story. I'm not going to talk about that right now. And my page size is rather large, but my scores are decent, 96 and 83. You can see that I need to add expires headers and use a CDN. And the CDN is just not going to happen unless I can find a great deal that, not what I've been seeing. So that is something I'll have to eventually get into doing, because I have a lot of images on awfulmedia.com. And it's because of my posts. It's the way that website's designed. I have these huge images for the header images, and they need to be delivered across a CDN, and they eventually will be. So I'm going to stop rambling on now. The website is complete. Oh, excuse me. So what we're going to do is call it quits for this tutorial, and I will see you next time. I plan on doing something else. Maybe not another tutorial series on website design, because this is my second one. But I do plan on doing some other website related things, maybe some other software related things. I don't really know. So I will see you next time. Take care, subscribe for more, blah, blah, blah.